YouTube. A very interesting point was just brought up as I was talking about my care needs and about all that sort of jazz. Okay, I do not require any personal care, so I don't require being dressed, being fed, being bathed, any of it. Alright? What I do, however, require is people to be there and around when I'm around. Now, by being around, they don't sit there like this. When I'm on a date, they don't sit there going, who are they? What do they want? What they usually do is we'll get there before the other person is supposed to be there. And what they'll usually do is they'll say, take me to some nearby cafe or something. And they'll get me in there, wheel the chair under a table, order me a cup of tea, and piss off. And that's what usually happens. And they'll go and they'll say, do you know what, if you need us, you can just give us a ring and we'll come and we'll find a toilet to take you to or whatever. So on dates, generally, the date doesn't see my care. Like, they'll probably see him when they come to pick me up at the end. They'll be like, evening, you know, and that's usually about it. Now, I used to rely on my best friend, and he used to do everything for me, and if I wanted to go anywhere, he used to go with me. It didn't matter where, he'd just say, right, we'll get on the train and we'll go. And obviously he passed away, so now I'm relying on 2 friends and my mum to do anything like that. But that's it. It's a big thing. Like, I want to date, I want to be able to go places, and I'm always happy to kind of go halfway and to kind of say, look, I'll meet you there, and we can kind of do that, and there's no issue. Yeah, it's not easy. I require someone to be around because you never know what might happen. I don't know many places too well apart from where I live. So it is difficult sometimes. And like when I was with my friend the other day, I had my mum around. She wasn't sat there going, hello Dion, what do you want? She was just around, you know, saying, oh, I'm just going to nip in here, or I'm just going to go here. If you need me, you know where I am. And that's kind of how I have it when I go on a date, especially the first one. Because the first one, I'm usually like this. Petrified that they're not going to like me. I'm sorry, did you just see my cleavage then? I really do apologise. I have pyjamas on, and so yeah. I apologise if you saw anything you weren't supposed to then. But yeah, I usually am like that, petrified, because I'm meeting someone for the first time. I tend to prefer to do it on neutral ground, so not where they live and not where I live, somewhere in the middle. And it did bring up an issue of care, and I had to be honest, because the guy said, oh, he's still on for kind of meeting, and I was like, yeah. And then I spoke to my care, and they kind of said, look, we're happy to take you so far, and if you want to carry on your own, you're more than welcome, but we're only happy to take you to here. And then what they'd have to do is wait around in that place, even if I went further on. So I thought, well, there's not much point in that, is there? Because then what if I need them? So it brought up the very interesting issue of, in a relationship, and if you want to be in a relationship with me, it has to be give and take. I am not saying if you live in, let's go for Stoke, because I used to live there. I'm not saying if you live in Stoke, I'll never come to Stoke. I would. But what would more than likely happen is the first time I meet you, I'll meet you somewhere in between Leeds and Stoke, which is Manchester. Alright? And we'll hang out and whatever. And then once I know you and stuff, then it'd be like, right, well, I'm coming to Stoke. What's going to happen is they're going to drop me in Manchester, and then I'm going to get on the train to Stoke on my own, and then you'll have to be at the I nearly said the t'other end then. That was very, very Yorkshire, I'm sorry, the other end, to meet me. And I'm cool to do that. And I'm not saying to any of you that want to date me or don't want to date me that I would never make the effort. Even if you lived in London or something as ridiculous as that, I would make the effort to do that. But the first time I meet you, I'd want to be meeting you somewhere completely neutral to both of us, so we were both as clueless as each other as to what we were doing, where we were going, and whatever. We'd both be kind of blind leading the blind and all that. But yeah, I used to go to Stoke a lot, and the first couple of times, I think it was the first couple of times, he came and got me from Manchester. And then once we were dating, and once it was kind of official, and he'd text me kind of, are you going to be my girl, la da da da. I'll never get that song out of my head now. You know, that Jets, are you going to be my girl thing? Because that guy texted me after, like, the second date and put, well, are you going to be my girl? So, yeah, so I'm not saying that I'd never travel. I will, but first time I meet you, Jelly Bellies, it's going to have to be kind of somewhere that neither of us know too well, just so I'm not feeling like some idiot who's wandering around going, I have no idea where we are or what we're doing. But yeah, I require care at least on the first time I meet someone, because what if after 20 minutes of talking to some bloke I think, we really don't get on, I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere and don't know how to get home? Not a wise idea. So yeah, it just brought up the idea of care and issues and stuff. You all know I'm gonna try and get a PA, which stands for personal assistant. Makes me sound like I run an office or something. I don't. Just means I would have people who would travel with me places and would do what I wanted, and I've got hiccups. Excuse me. But yeah, you know. So that's the truth, guys. If you are interested in having a date, the truth is you'll have to kind of make an effort too, and that's just the way it is. I'm not gonna put all my eggs in one basket, go down to meet you, and what if we really don't get on? It's just not a thing that I'm kind of willing to do without any care. Not the first time. Ta guys. Bye. God, too much cleavage. Sorry.